Hey, so this is XRYXIX. The song is Granular. Have a link in the description. Give a like and subscribe if you see it. Now, I want to talk about what's going on with Creepshow art and the video that she posted this New Year's Eve. And I wanted to make a comprehensive video where you didn't have to actually listen to her. You know, it's just a lot, because honestly, throughout her things, it's just constant manipulation on any front, either by attacking or deflecting or self-victimizing while being awful to somebody. You know, one of those type of people. And so, how this started, I guess you could think of way back when people really knew of both of them, Emily Artful and Creepshow. They were doing drawing commentary videos, which were pretty, you know, not really done at the time for YouTube. A lot used to be, you know, just video, however. And like, they'd get accused of copying each other through the fans or something. Then eventually, after like years or something, Emily came out with videos on Creepshow stalking and harassing her with Emily's ex, who is Creepshow's now husband, who's been harassing her and stuff throughout like years, literally years, with information and stuff. And Emily even said it might not have been them, but there's a lot of evidence that points the air to them. You know what I mean? And God, so Creepshow decided to post this video about all the things that Emily and other people have said about her being harassing and all this on New Year's Eve. And it's 2 hours long, mind you, over 2 hours actually, and it's a bunch of nonsense, an absolute cluster of depraved, vicious nonsense. Okay, I'm just gonna like start that out. No, I'm gonna start saying that. No. And the video is a lot of finger pointing of pictures throughout Emily's life, literal stuff that's been deleted that no one should be able to have, but she has archives showing the entire history, basically how she stalked this person, and proving the point that she stalked Emily more than anyone ever provided before, and really showed how she only cared about views, because she would even go in this thing called lolcow. Some of you may know who it is. If for those who don't, it's a website where people can be anonymous and say anything on there, talk shit, however. Like, lolcow has rules, and Creepshow broke them a lot by promoting herself and doxing her own sister, and really being vicious about a lot of people that she pretended to be friends with. And again, I've had issue with her before just because she's affiliated with a lot of different people that don't really align with, you know, actually caring about our society, just because it's like she only cares about what will boost her, you know, viewage, you could say. Sounds like sewage. Rhymes with Creepshow. God. But yeah, she did this whole video, and it is literally her documenting Emily's life throughout all of this, blaming her for, you know, being a kid with undiagnosed mental illness. She's also really ableist, and you know how addiction is considered an actual disease because it actually messes with the body and it is a whole thing. Well, she points to Emily's, whatever her life was with the subject of heroin, to prove a point with a chapter or whatever, to talk about everything on locale, to prove that she's on locale a lot for like years of debate or whatever for shit I never even heard of before. And God, you know, it's just a lot. But yeah, it's a fucking lot. And she just put everything on the table of everything she's ever documented throughout this, after she was gone for 6 months or so, after being quiet, after everything came out that was out about her already. And also that's to avoid the, because it's like YouTube has a thing where if you're a content creator who gets monetized, you have like 6 or 7 months before of not posting to continue to make money, or they'll kick you out if you haven't posted that 6 months amount of time. So that's why she posted, you know, New Year's Eve in the first place. And a lot of her things really proved the point of how much she actually cared, which was very little outside of what worked for her. And she said she was done with YouTube. Good riddance, but good luck to whoever platform she goes to next. She'll probably still be on locale, talking shit about whoever, you know, even those people she's thought of as closest, but you just can't trust people like that. She even talked a lot of mess about the people who actively have been supporting her and saying they'd miss her and stuff. And if you look at the last clip of it, you can see it just, she brings in a lot more drama, a lot more mess, and it's just like, she literally seems proud of stalking this person to exhaustion and just wanted to show the world all of the efforts of documenting Emily and all of this. And it's not just us like this, you know, we all need to realize that, you know, you can't just be like, oh, cancel somebody for doing this and not care about the next person that does this shit. It's just ridiculous nonsense that we don't need to do as a society. Right? At least I believe. It's like, it's really sad because honestly she did make a lot of solid points as someone who was a creator at the time, and a lot of people looked to her and really cared about her and helped her get to where she is as a creator, because you know, anyone can do it. It's more about luck and who you know, and it's sad that it's so monopolized and whatever, but we're getting better about it, I think. But I really am tired of people acting like that and not valuing what they have with who they have, and just being a nasty person for whatever vicious reason that is ultimately unjustifiable. Yeah, honestly, a lot of the stuff that she's also put out, while, you know, some stuff was, yeah, valid, other stuff she'd just say it was what it was because that's what she thought. It wasn't backed up by anything. She points to people not backing up things when they use actual facts, and she uses inferring for a lot of, like, critical thought theory into a situation, which doesn't help a person, especially that's how you end up really not taking criticism in a productive way, you know. And that was her demise, honestly. Like, she could not handle criticism at all. It was always a mess. And there's even this thing where Creepshow had the same kind of color, hair dye, and hairstyle as Emily. Like, it was very similar, and if you flip the mirror for Creepshow, it'd be like the same side as how Emily had it. it was a whole thing, and Creepshow has these little terrible Easter eggs about following Emily's life throughout all of this. And I think if everything else didn't, which it already did, implicate Creepshow, it does not. And she even decided to have this whole thing about her having lawyers that agree with her, but if they did and there was actually legal proceedings, Emily's videos would be taken down for it to be viewed in court. So the fact that the videos are still up says a lot more than Creepshow is trying to tell her followers or anybody who comes across the videos. So be mindful of that too. And Creepshow wasn't the only one a part of this. Obviously her husband was all a part of this whole thing. And there were other people involved with this hazing, mob mentality mess. And I genuinely think we really need to get better. I think we can, and I believe we can. If you go to Emily Artful's videos, you'll see the full story from the person who dealt with the whole thing. So, you know, heads up on that. But, you know, since it's the new year and all, be safe. And I hope y'all have good luck for this year and all the years to come, okay? Heard all that.